I'm Chris Sale. I'm a landscape photographer and filmmaker based here in the beautiful Lake District National Park. And this is the story of how corporate giant Adobe saved my YouTube channel and how Premiere Pro has rekindled my passion for online video. Less and less enjoyable. What was I thinking? Don't reach out to YouTube nobodies like me. Don't necessarily see in myself. There is no magic button in Premiere Pro. Absolutely no chance of winning. Quality over quantity. Okay, maybe not TikTok. Then maybe it's time I started to believe in myself once again. YouTube is a wonderful platform. In my experience, there is no better way to share your passion, whatever that might be, with like-minded people all over the world. YouTube has helped me to connect with thousands of photographers from all four corners of the globe. But with more and more creators coming to the platform every day, it's getting harder and harder to be heard. There is constant pressure to keep producing better and better content. But very few of us have any formal training in how to produce video. It can be very difficult to figure out for yourself how to take your channel forward, and there are times when you feel like throwing in the towel. And then, just when you're at your lowest point, your salvation comes from the most unexpected of sources. I started my channel back in 2017. I filmed my first video using just my mobile phone, starting at Kelly Hall Tarn in the Lake District and ending up here at Orton Scar in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. To start with, all I wanted was to share my passion for landscape photography and for the Lake District. Back in those days, I wasn't a professional photographer. I had a proper job working in IT for Sky TV up in Scotland, and so I would be away from home during the week. Then, every Saturday morning, I'd head out with my camera into the national park and film myself so that I could share my adventures on my channel. In the past, I'd struggled to reach people on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, but within a year of starting on YouTube, I'd somehow managed to attract over 3,000 subscribers to my channel. Those first 12 months were great fun, but ever since then, if I'm being honest with myself, YouTube has become less and less enjoyable for me. Then, in 2019, aged just 44, I had my midlife crisis. I didn't buy a sports car or start dyeing my hair. Instead, I turned my back on a 20-year career in IT and the enormous salary that went with it to chase my dream of becoming a professional landscape photographer. What was I thinking? I never wanted to be a professional YouTuber, but I realised that YouTube would be key to promoting myself, building my brand, and establishing my business. And it was around this time that the trouble started. Looking back now, if I'm completely honest with myself, I lost my way. The content that I was creating at the time was failing to engage my audience, and as a result, I was no longer seeing the levels of growth that I'd come to expect. By the autumn of 2020, things had gotten so bad that I was actually on the verge of quitting. For the return that I was seeing, I could no longer justify spending such a large proportion of my time creating videos. And worst of all, I'd lost my confidence. Then, one day, completely out of the blue, an email landed in my inbox. It was from Emily in the community relations team at Adobe, and she was offering me a place on their Premiere Pro Creator Camp. What's that, I hear you ask? Well, according to the email, it's a free course provided by Adobe offering training in Premiere Pro, a free 6-month Creative Cloud subscription, and the opportunity to pitch for a video sponsored by Adobe. More on that later. Clearly there'd been some sort of mistake because brands like Adobe don't reach out to YouTube nobodies like me. So I did what any right-minded person would do. I ignored it. Well, if there had been a mistake, Emily hadn't yet realised as she sent me not one, but 2 chaser emails. Eventually, I buckled and filled with a "what have I got to lose" attitude, I signed up. And thank goodness I did. And so, a few days later, I logged onto Zoom for the first of our weekly sessions. It was my first opportunity to meet the other creators, and it was a really diverse group. People were dialing in from all over the world. They came from a variety of different backgrounds, had varying levels of experience, and were creating content across a broad range of subjects. But from what I could see, they all had 2 things in common. They were all very charismatic and all highly engaging. Those are 2 traits that I don't necessarily see in myself, further reinforcing my theory that somewhere along the line, somebody had made a mistake. On that first call, we were also introduced to Tyler, who would be leading our weekly sessions on how to use Premiere Pro. Tyler Babin. Now, why do I know that name? This is Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk, and here, inside the back cover, it says Jacket Design by Tyler Babin. Anyway, at the start of each week, we'd be given access to a new video tutorial covering a specific topic. And then at the end of the week, we'd have the opportunity to ask Tyler questions in a live Q&A session. Hi Tyler, I've got a question. What button do I press if I want to make my videos, a little less sh**? Unfortunately, as it turns out, there is no magic button in Premiere Pro. Most of what we learnt was how to create more engaging video through the use of motion graphics, colour grading, and sound design. And we didn't just learn about video production. Adobe also invited along guest speakers to talk to us about things like content planning, building a community, and understanding analytics in both YouTube and Instagram. I even had a personalised session with Mandy Celine, a professional video editor who's worked with some of the biggest names on YouTube. Mandy gave my YouTube channel a thorough health check, and it turns out that my thumbnails, titles, and descriptions are all crap. Well, at least now I know, and that insight would be incredibly useful for what was coming next. At the end of the course, Adobe gave everyone the opportunity to pitch for a sponsored video. Obviously, I had absolutely no chance of winning, but this was going to be a good experience for me. Now, even though I was only getting 5 minutes to pitch, I still spent days working on my presentation. We had all been given training in how to pitch to brands, so I wasn't going into this completely unprepared, and Adobe had promised that they would give me some feedback when I inevitably muffed it up. Inevitably, pitch week came and went, and even though there was absolutely no chance of me winning, I was still satisfied that I had at least given it my best shot. Then, on the 18th of December, just a week before Christmas, I received an email. And to cut a long story short, I am very pleased to say that this video has been sponsored by Adobe. So since completing the Creator Camp, how have things changed for me? Well, firstly, I've decided that I want to put a lot more effort into my videos in future. My mantra for 2021 is going to be quality over quantity. That probably means spending more time up front planning my videos, more time crafting them, more time researching my subjects, and putting more effort into telling compelling stories. And if that means an end to weekly videos moving forward, then so be it. Ultimately, I want to focus on creating videos that are more entertaining, more inspiring, and more engaging. I want to find my own voice and my own way of making videos, not just copy what everyone else is doing. And now, thanks to Adobe, I don't just have the tools that I need to do that, but a better understanding of how to use those tools. I think I've known for some time that YouTube isn't the best place for me to be promoting my business, at least not in the way that I'd been doing it. Fortunately, the Creator Camp helped me to realise that there's more to online video than just YouTube. As I grow as a filmmaker, there's going to be a lot more opportunities to use video to promote my business. How about producing content specifically for Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok? Okay, maybe not TikTok. After all, I'm not sure how many teenage girls are actually interested in landscape photography. Okay, if not TikTok, then how about using video as a way of saying thank you for all the support that I've received on Ko-fi? Or using video as a way of bringing more traffic to my website and encouraging more people to sign up for my monthly newsletter. Whatever I decide, limiting myself to just YouTube is like a photographer limiting themselves to a single focal length, which I've just realised is a terrible metaphor. But probably the most important thing to come out of the Creator Camp is that I'm starting to get my confidence back. Confidence to try new things, to experiment more, and to push myself harder. Confidence and self-belief are so important for anyone that works in the creative industry. Without that confidence to innovate, to take risks, to break new ground, then we're never going to realise our full creative potential. And if the people at Adobe believe in me enough to offer me a place on their Creator Camp and to award me this sponsored video, then maybe it's time I started to believe in myself once again. So that's the story of how Adobe saved my YouTube channel. They may be a corporate giant, but behind every corporate giant are real people. Real people with the power to educate, motivate, and inspire the communities that they serve. And that is how you change the world.